From your office laptop also you can log in, no? I will share my screen and I will give you control. Then you can start explaining.
But it won't be.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now you can see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just I will go the BP, what are the basic configuration which needed for that. Okay, first we need to go for
Record is going on now.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can ask any questions, that's okay, fine.
Mm.
First we are going to define the customer group. So here we are defining the 10 group. I have given this is the description, and inside the company code data I have maintained the reconciliation account is required. Only one group I created. After that I created the number ranges. So here the number range should not be overlap, it should be unique only. This is the number range which I created, C1. And if you keep this one as a external, if you are expecting the BP number and your vendor or customer number should be the same, then you need to maintain these same numbers here, the BP numbers and this account group number, this number ranges should be the same, it should not be different. Whenever if it is a different, then the BP number and vendor or customer number will be different. So if you want same, then you need to make a this tick box, and the same number range need to maintain for the BP partner also. And I assign our group this number ranges. Now I have not chosen that number range is external because we are using the BP number and the vendor customer number is different. In the same way, this is the customer is over. If you go for vendor, you need to define the vendor group here. I have given the vendor group, account group, under the description, and company code data, go inside company code data, and account management, here I made it as the reconciliation account is required. And create the number range for this vendor, we can change. I have defined the V1 is the number range for vendor, and assign this number range to our group, vendor group. So I have assigned the number ranges for this group. Now BP configuration here, come to cross application component, and coming to here SAP Business Partner, Business Partner, basic settings, number ranges and grouping groups. Click here. As I told you, BP partner number, this is the number which we have. If you want the same, you need to maintain the same number. but here I have meant because I'm using the BP number and vendor number, customer number, it's a different, because I didn't get the same numbers somebody they use here. This is for the customer. This is for the vendor. Here we need to define our group. And this is for the customer, whatever just now we defined that number is, we need to assign here. For the vendor also we need to assign like this. Here we need to click as a new entry, not just going and defining this one. We need to click new entry, we need to enter those details, then we need to assign the number ranges.
What about this external IST? Can you go there?
This one,
Yes. Yeah.
no, it's grayed out.
Okay.
And coming to data, master data synchronization, customer and vendor, BP partner settings. This is for the customer integration. Set a BP role category for direction BP to customer. Before this one, just a minute. We need to define here the BP roles here. So here what we have to do, we can choose the standard. This is the standard. Just we can copy this. We can choose this one. Click on copy. Because this is in display mode, that is the reason that option is not came here. And just choose this one and click on copy and change to your identification, this number and description you can maintain. In the same way for the vendor also you can do it. This is the standard. FLVN00 is the FI vendor, so you can choose this one and you can change according to your description. After you done this one, just click the BP role category. So here BP role category, you need to choose again BP role which category we need. This is for the standard. Just click this one, copy as, that option will come here when we are in edit mode, and keep the your identification role category. The same way for the customers also. Customer, you can choose, this is the FLCU00 is the standard. You can copy this one, you can make a change here, your BP role category identification, and you can update this one. Once you done this one, then only you need to go to this path only. Go to here. This is the for the customer integration. Set a BP role category for direction BP to customer. Here whatever you have created the in previous step BP role, so those will be appear here. You need to click the new entry and you need to choose those automatically. Here those details will get appeared here. After that you can save your details. and you can define here the BP role. So whatever it is there, this step I think it is not required. Okay, one second. Yeah, this step is required. We need to define our the customer number group, what is that group, and which is the BP role. We define this one. In the same way, now we have look for vendor. Now we need to look for customer. This is customer. We need to look for vendor. Set a BP role category for direction BP to vendor. We need to, whatever we define the BP role in the previous the configuration, click new entry and you can choose here, then save. After that you can click on the define BP role for direction vendor to BP, then you can choose yours. Your group and which is the BP role you have defined, that one you can assign here. Okay, once you've done that one, you need to do this one also. Here yeah, this is for the vendor. So I have defined the group, and which is that group which I have defined, I have assigned here. If you want same, then you need to click this one. Now I'm doing the BP number and the vendor number is different. That is the reason I chosen as a flexible group, means it is not same. You should not, if you want same, you should not choose this one. You need to choose this option only. This configuration is not required. The same steps what we have seen, that one for customers also we need to see. This is for the customers. What I have did it, I have chosen the group, and which is I created that one account group I have defined here, and I am using the flexible group. I have chosen this one. Okay, now when I am going to create BP number, so it will be BP number and vendor or customer, it will be different, it won't be the same. I have defined the reconciliation account for vendor and customer.
Why it's appearing like this, Ramesh?
Now somebody they made a settings for this user, so that
Uh-huh.
is the reason this hierarchy is appearing. We can remove this hierarchy, go to settings and we can remove, but here this company code does not exist. This company code SAP1 is not defined. Somebody they are doing R&D. Okay, I think it's a display mode. This user is locked. Okay, go to SM12 and this is the user. Choose this one. We can see these many, but I have not logged in into this. Choose all and delete. Okay, so completely it is deleted. You can go back. Now you can see here. Now I created for the liabilities for vendor payables and receivables. I created. I need to create the materials only. For raw material I need to create. For raw material we have created till 2 lakh 1. I'll create 2 lakh 2 only. Go to here, GL account type and that's it. Then raw material account, then click on control data. Here nothing. Here you need to choose the G01, then save. Some let's see again. Save this one. Okay, now it got saved. Okay, it was the runtime error, it was there, saved. Now we will see the customer and vendor creation. I am clicking as a, I will show you BPT code as well as this one. Okay, here now you can see here as a options which one you want. BP partner as a person or organization group. So here whatever it is there, those we have chosen here. So from that the standard. Okay, now I'm taking as a organization. BP number. And we need to choose here which is the BP role. So we have defined our BP role. First we do creation of the customer, then we will go for vendor. So this is our BP role. Okay, you need to click here, and here you need to choose the which is our group. This is for the customer, right? So we need to choose the US 10 we need to choose. Okay, here we need to define the these are required field. If you not fill the required field, then it will throw a message that required field. Now it's gone for dump. Again, let's try.
Is there any option of saving those documents which we will be receiving from customers? Like PAN number, Aadhaar card.
Sorry, I'm not getting.
So the documents which we'll be receiving from customers,
Mm-hmm.
like Aadhaar card, bank details,
Mm-hmm.
or personal details,
Mm-hmm.
contract agreement, is it possible to scan the same and we can upload into this BP role?
Yes,
Is it?
yes, attachments will be there. You can do attachments also.
Uh-huh. So in my company ERP, that options are there. That's why.
Yes, it is there.
Okay.
This is customer. You need to choose this BP role, because based on this number it will be one number range, and here based on this group in another number range. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's going for dumping. Let me try first, then vendor. data is storing in the table.
But for customer, we are getting error, no, Ramesh?
No, no, we will try. That is the dump. It is going. So somebody they are doing some R&D.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason. Now we are going to extend to company code.
What is that? Walmart Private Limited.
Walmart, Walmart.
Okay.
Okay, now if you see here, BP number is this is, and vendor number is this is.
Yes.
Got it right?
Got
If you
it. Got it.
want this number and this number should be same, then you need to maintain that group vendor, that vendor group as a external. Then BP number, those number and this number range should be same, and that is the external. And here you need to maintain it as a same, not a flexible group.
Why we should make separate or same, Ramesh? Business
No,
partner
that is depends on the client requirement.
and
Now I am clicking the vendor xk02. Okay, when I click this one, it will be called to that BP only. Okay, this is
I
that's
think at
not.
this time
Hmm?
might they are updating the system, Ramesh. System is very slow.
I think so. you need to choose here as a supplier. Okay, now I need to give the reconciliation account here. Now you can save. Okay, now data got saved. Successfully we created a one BP custom vendor. Now we will create the customer. So we need to choose the create BP role, which is that this is the customer role. So here it is asking that do you want to BP partner in BP role FI? Yes, we need to create yes. Then here we need to define it is going for dump. Somebody they made some changes in BP for customer. Let me try one more time. The fields which I am giving, those are mandatory. Okay. So there was somebody they changed in this the table. So that is the reason it is going, they have not properly do the coding, they did something wrong. That is the reason. Now we will post one F5 invoice with the vendor. After that, once this might be settled, then we will create the customer. Do you have KR number?
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Okay, now we will post vendor invoice. So now we can see our vendor number. Click here, you can enter amount. You can choose our raw material, define GL account, give 10,000. Click on document, simulate, save. Okay, document is posted, which the number I have entered now. Okay.